The show, she gives this great stat about the football game. Last 10 games been decided by 5 points or less. Either way.
You bet against
Giants? No, I bet on your stat. Giants +3. That worked out real well. So Dodgers tonight laying -150. Clayton Kershaw building off his best ever career postseason start. See if he can do it. I think they will. Christian Yelich tries to stay hot.
Big weekend in sports on Fox.
Yes.
Yeah,
enormous.
Friday, Saturday, started off yesterday, Thursday night football. Got Friday, got the baseball. Saturday, got the Buckeyes, got a couple football games. Sunday, got the game of the week.
Excited weekend for Fox.
Shut it down.
Bat.
So, make no plans. Time for us to go viral.
What you doing this weekend, bruh?
Odell Beckham had a tough night, but he had a highlight before the game showing off his kicking skills. You see that? You guys make
Yeah, he spins the ball and kicks the field goal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 37-yarder. 37 yards.
Yep. He's a really good soccer player from what I read. Like, legitimately.
That's what his theatrics and all the faking and everything is. He's a soccer player.
Could you, the athletic prime, longest field goal you think you could have made or that you did make at practice?
No, my feet aren't that talented. Kickers are, no.
You couldn't do it?
No, just the basics. I don't have a whole bunch of skills kicking the football.
Okay. Yeah, I tried once at I was out at a practice.
Was leading up to?
What? No, because it was, I wanted to say to the audience, it is impossible.
I'll ask you a question so I can tell you a story about me.
It is, I failed miserably. My point is, even a 20-yarder, it is, to me, way more difficult than I think people watching assume. Like, if you played soccer, like, I could make a 20-yard field goal. No, you couldn't.
Yes, football's very hard, but for you, walking 20 yards in a straight line.
Also very hard.
I tried to set you up for success there. See, I assumed you were going to say you nailed 40 yarders. Hold on.
Relax.
Can I say this? It's never good when your big highlight comes before the game starts.
Oh. Headbutt in the cooler, all that kind of stuff.
That's bad. Time for stories to start your morning. Panthers getting some good news ahead of Sunday's game. Tight end Greg Olsen could make his first appearance since suffering a broken foot back in Week 1. He did practice in full, hopes to play in Washington. Nick Wright, how much would Olsen help Cam and the Panthers on Sunday?
I'm so excited that our friend Greg Olsen is back. Greg Olsen, remember, if Cam throws for 400 against Washington, Greg Olsen is wearing Cam's outfit to the post-game press conference. We made that commitment on the show. A great job by him and the training staff getting him back after he re-breaks his foot in Week 1. He's back already in Week 6.
I would put him on a pitch count. I'm leery of this injury because it was supposed to be repaired last offseason. He's already had one setback. Man, it's a grind to the finish of the season. I would be shocked if he doesn't miss some more time. I'm pulling for him, but I would be shocked if he doesn't miss more time going forward.
All right, big matchup that might be flying under the radar on Sunday. The 3-1 Bears visit the 3-2 Dolphins. Mitch Trubisky, Khalil Mack, and the rest of the Bears have been one of the season's early surprises. Stacey, what will the key be for Chicago to get a win on the road this weekend?
Miami's offensive line, much improved. Laramie Tunsil, that left tackle, can he hold up against that fierce rush of the Bears? And Khalil Mack, that's what the game. Ryan Tannehill, will he protect the ball in the pocket? He's been fumble prone, interceptions prone. When he gets pressure, that will be on center stage on Sunday.
I want to see if Khalil Mack can continue one of the most remarkable streaks that I've ever seen in the NFL, which is a strip sack in every single game thus far this season. He would go for his 5th straight this weekend, and for Miami, they were one of the talks of the league at 3-0. 2 straight losses where they looked bad. If that falls to 3 straight, all of a sudden you start reevaluating if that first quarter of the season was a little misleading.
Yeah, John Gruden's going to regret that Khalil Mack trade his whole
for the rest of his life
until he's back on TV.
Yep. The Packers take on the 49ers on Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers said he had a little setback with that ailing left knee after Sunday's loss to the Detroit Lions. There's a chance he might need a bigger brace moving forward. CC, explain this to us. How could a bulkier brace affect Rodgers?
He's probably got more movement, and he's got more flimsiness in the knee joint that it's moving from side to side, so they have to put some heavier hardware to make sure that the knee does not move to be able to stabilize it. Typically, it means it's a little bulkier, it's a little heavier. Aaron is a great athlete. And as an athlete, when you're not used to wearing braces and everything, and you start putting braces on those major ligaments and areas, it hinders his overall mobility, and I believe it will affect him.
And we even saw last week, despite the fact that they removed him from the injury report leading into last week's game, if you watch that game, there were a number of plays where Aaron Rodgers of last year or 2 years ago would have just run for a first down.
No doubt.
Where he was rolling out, had a first down in front of him with his legs. Instead, he tried to force something in there. He is not himself right now. His passing numbers are still good, but you can tell the lack of mobility is hurting their ability to move the chains on a consistent basis.
All right, and back to last night's game. The Giants might have lost the game, but they won the running back battle. Saquon Barkley, Giants' first-round pick, had 229 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown, including a number of dazzling runs. What did you make of Saquon's performance, Chris?
It was very impressive. His ability to be able to make NFL guys miss, because the wear and tear at running back is significant. And when you can't make people miss, it becomes almost impossible to have big gains and be consistent. Like, you can't have an offensive coordinator draw up plays as a running back. You're just going to be wide open. When you're one of the featured parts of the offense, people are going to key on you. They're going to try to take you out of the game. So you have to be able to make people miss at the line of scrimmage. He has explosive ability. One of the few players that anywhere on the field, he can score. Yeah, there's only a few players in the NFL that can do that. There's only a few. Couple running backs, couple wide receivers. That's it. A handful of them, and the Giants have one. He is a special player. They got zero maintenance with him off the field, so he's got no marks as far as his character. You know, it seems like, based on the telecast last night, with Troy and Joe Buck being around the team, it seems like a lot of the people on the team are gravitating towards him as one of the young leaders because he's a great example. He had good examples of that when he was at Penn State, now carrying that over to the Giants locker room, paying huge dividends. I can understand why the Giants draft him at number 2, because as Gettleman said, if the guy's sitting there and he's a Hall of Famer and he has that type of ability, I think Barkley early in his career has shown us that he has been worth the hype.
Because of Eli's play in the Giants' record, that number 2 picks become very controversial. Should have taken a quarterback. Should have taken a quarterback. That commentary has nothing to do with his ability. It's about whether or not you can ever get the value from that position if you don't have the quarterback. What he showed you last night, though, is if next year they draft a quarterback, that quarterback's going to be walking into a situation very beneficial, where you've got a stud running back, a stud wide receiver, obviously got to shore up the offensive line, but a lot of the weapons that we've seen around some of these other young quarterbacks, whether it's Jared Goff in Los Angeles, Pat Mahomes in Kansas City, where you are set up to succeed.
Those guys inherited a good situation. The organization went out and supported that by getting Kansas City, going out and adding someone like Sammy Watkins. The Rams going out and getting
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, getting him from the Pats. Those things to support that high draft pick that you have at quarterback.
He was 1 yard away. I wish he'd gotten it. 1 receiving yard away from becoming the first Giant ever to have 100 receiving, 100 rushing in the same game. In a game where the Giants could not move the football, he had, 240 yards from scrimmage? He was 65% of their offense by himself.
Playing against a defense that came in, especially their front seven, playing well and not giving up a lot of yards.
And so, go ahead, Jim.
I know that the transition into the NFL for a running back is a lot different than for a quarterback. It's a little easier. But is this ahead of schedule of where you thought he'd be 5 games in?
Our best running backs that we have in the game today, if you take the 5 best running backs, all right, and I'll throw Shady McCoy in there because he deserves a lot of respect. Him, Hunt, Gurley, L. Bell, Ezekiel Elliott, all those running backs, immediate success. There is no transfer from little league to high school to college, and college to pro like running back, because their instincts, they're very, very natural. They're God-given. No coach can teach them. And a lot of the plays and how they see the game is the same way. And now you have a lot of the runs being matted up with what they run in college as far as being in the shotgun, tailback right next to the quarterback. So they're getting a lot of reps at seeing it. And when you're good in the NFL, typically as a running back, you're good immediately.
The rushing champ 2 years ago was a rookie. The rushing champ last year was a rookie. The record Saquon is chasing, most 100-yard from scrimmage games to start a career, is 7 was set last year by Kareem Hunt. So these are guys right now, the top level guys. They are transitioning from top level college players immediately to top level NFL players.
Definite silver lining for the New York Giants. All right, Giants.
Lining.
Yeah, really.
The only lining.
They aren't the only team in the NFC East having some off